It's been 8 months since Abdullah Muhammad Al Ali and his family from Dar'a started living in a tent in Jordan's Al Zatri camp. He's crying because more than 2 million other Syrians have become refugees like him, and there's still no end in sight to the conflict. Abdullah says he's lost everything because of the war, which is why he believes the West has to launch a military strike against Syria, and soon.
We wish a strike would happen today. We wish it would happen right now. We need to remove Bashar al-Assad, the cancer in Syria. Even if the country is going to get destroyed, this traitor has to go.
But not every Syrian refugee agrees. Ahlam, who has been living here for almost a year, thinks a foreign military strike would have a disastrous effect and should not be allowed.
If they want to strike Syria, maybe the prisoners and the innocent are the ones who will be wiped out. It's not the officials or the president who will go, it's the remaining innocent civilians still living in Syria who will get killed.
The UN Refugee Agency says the suffering and displacement of Syrians is unparalleled in recent history, with Lebanon and Jordan hosting the largest number of refugees, followed by Turkey, Iraq and Egypt. And what's also worrying is the fact that humanitarian agencies are alarmingly underfunded. So far, they've only received just under half of the funding required to meet the refugees' basic needs, according to the UN Refugee Agency. And the continuing rise in the number of Syrians fleeing their country is only further stretching the limited funding available. And it's almost certain that more Syrians will head to the closest border to escape if there is a foreign military strike and an increase in violence. The Jordanian authorities say they're prepared for what might come.
Jordan has 45 crossing points at its border with Syria, aside from the 2 official border crossings. All these are open for Syrian refugees to come through. We have reached the highest degrees of readiness to receive a large influx of Syrian refugees.
The Syrian war is at a critical and decisive stage. Syrians here feel foreign military intervention may go either way. It could help refugees who have been suffering in exile return home sooner, or force them to stay here for even longer if the war becomes a regional one. Nisreen Al-Shamaili, Al Jazeera, Al Zatri camp.